Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday during our live stream, I made a mistake when I was telling someone how long a 1 pound canister of propane would last. Well, I actually think that the question was, how long would a 20-pound cylinder of propane would last, or a 5-gallon cylinder of propane would last? And I told you all that 1 pound of propane has approximately 21,600 BTU. I think I said 21,000 to make it easy, but it's about 21,594, something like that. So 21,600. And then I went ahead and proceeded to do the math on how much 1 pound canister would last with a buddy heater. Now this here is a buddy heater that I purchased, and I'm taking it out of the box so that I can test it out and make sure that it works, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in what I like to call deep storage or cold storage. Well, when the person asked me how long a 5-gallon or 20-pound cylinder would last, I confused the 5 gallons with 5 pounds. So let's go ahead and do the math really quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a link to a calculator that allows you to see how long any amount of propane will last depending on how many BTU your appliance uses. Now this buddy heater here has two settings, a low and a high. And on low it uses 4,000 BTU. Well, on high, it uses 9,000 BTU. So let's go ahead and do the math with the calculator that I have for you, because it's very easy. And I just want everyone to have this information. That way you can be better prepared as far as knowing how much propane you need to store for a certain amount of time with whatever appliance you have. This calculator here works with any appliance. Let me show you how it works. Now this calculator, ladies and gentlemen, is very easy to use. Like I said, I will leave the link for this on a pinned comment so that it can be easily accessible to you. So what this asks for is some basic information. Let's go ahead and use the buddy heater that you see me unpacking here and trying out for the first time as an example. On low, it will use 4,000 BTU. So where it says BTU rating of your burner, you just put in 4,000. And then you put in the size of your propane cylinder in pounds. Okay, so right now we're using this 1 pound propane cylinder, so we'll leave it as 1. But if you're using a 5-gallon propane cylinder, that's a 20-pound propane cylinder. And then you just adjust your pounds by the size of your cylinder. So for example, if you're using one of those big ones, it's a 100-pound propane cylinder, which takes about, I don't know, 25 or so gallons of propane. So as you can see here, your propane tank, your 1 pound propane tank, has about 21,600 BTUs. So if you're running that buddy heater on low at 4,000 BTU, then that's going to last you about 5.5 hours or so. You can say 5 hours to be on the safe side. And you can adjust this calculator here to, let's say on high for that buddy heater, it's 9,000. And I actually think that yesterday during the live stream, I said that it was 8,000. Maybe the old ones are. This is a newer one, but that one has a 9,000 BTU rating if you put it on high. So if you were to put that on high, knowing that you're burning up 9,000 BTU, the only thing that this calculator does is it just does a basic division problem. It takes the 9,000 BTU in your 1 pound of propane, and it divides the 9,000 into the amount of BTUs in that 1 pound cylinder, or whatever size cylinder you have, giving you the amount of hours. Meaning that 9,000 divides into 21,600, roughly 2.4 times. And that is as simple as it is, ladies and gentlemen. Just go ahead and use this link, punch in your numbers, and it will give it to you. So let's say, for example, in the back of my bunker, I have two 100-pound cylinders of propane. That's what I use to heat this bunker when it's really, really cold outside and my electric heater cannot keep up with the demand. And the direct vent heater that I have here uses propane, obviously, and it's rated at 17,000 an hour when it's on high. So let's go ahead and switch this to 17,000. The size of the propane tank is a 100-pound propane tank, so we'll bring this up to 100 pounds. And you can see that my propane tank contains approximately 2,159,000 BTU. So one of my 100-pound propane tanks or propane cylinders that feeds my 17,000 BTU direct vent heater for the bunker will last about 127 hours when being used at the high capacity, 17,000 BTU. If you don't have one of these small buddy heaters or even the big buddies, which go all the way up to, I believe, is 18,000 BTU, I recommend them. I think that they could be a lifesaver. Use it in a hot room, in a room in your home that's probably sealed off, where you can contain the heat more efficiently during a time where maybe you lose electricity and you don't have a way to heat your entire home. However, you know how I feel about that, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you have backups for your backups. Right now, you ought to be able to find a way to heat your entire home, keep your home warm enough to where at least your pipes won't freeze. If your pipes won't freeze, then you're probably going to be all right. You may just have to put on a few additional layers, right? I really hope that you got something out of this, and I do apologize for making that mistake yesterday. You all know me, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I'm a little bit senile, and during the chats, I get kind of excited sometimes. But if you've never joined in on a live stream, go ahead and join in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot of fun. But again, I apologize to the person who asked that question. I hope I didn't confuse you, and I probably did if you went back and did the math. Right? I ended up confusing the 5 pounds for 5 gallons, or the 5-gallon number you gave me for 5 pounds. And that's why I told you more than likely that a 5-gallon LP container would only last a few hours, when in reality it would last a lot longer. Let's see, a 5-gallon is a 20-pounder, right? So let's go all the way back down to 20 pounds. And then let's go ahead and put in the 9,000 BTU for that little buddy, which is on high. It will last you 48 hours, right? I probably told you like 5 or 6 hours, and that's way off, right? But that will last you 48 hours. So I think that's a pretty good deal. 48 hours of pretty good warmth from that little buddy for about 20-25 bucks worth of propane. Yes, we know it used to be a lot cheaper, but that's what it is now. So you're paying roughly 50 cents an hour or so in order to heat a space with propane using that heater. I know I'm making this video way too long, ladies and gentlemen, but I just want to share something with you because I was going to try it anyways. You all know more than likely that in my house, I heat with fuel oil or with heating oil. But as a backup for a house heater, a full house heater, I have a direct vent propane heater that's like the one that I have here in the bunker, but it's a bigger one. It's 35,000 BTU. And outside, I keep 2 100-gallon cylinders of propane in case of emergencies. It's the same propane that I use to power my stove or to use my stove to cook, but it doesn't really use that much comparatively speaking when you compare it against a heater. So let's see how long 200 gallons of propane will last my emergency heater for inside of my house. And that emergency heater is 35,000 BTU. So let's put 35,000 BTU. And the 2 tanks that I have are both 100-gallon tanks. 1 gallon is roughly 4 pounds of propane. It's like 4.11 pounds of propane per 1 gallon. So let's just say 4 pounds. So I have 4 pounds times 200 gallons, which is 800 pounds. So let's go 800 pounds. That's how much propane I have. And as you can see here, it gives me 17,275,000 BTU of propane, which will last me about 493 hours. So roughly 500 hours. Now, how many days will this last you? Well, it depends on how cold it is. And during a cold day, like -30, -40 in Alaska, my heater will probably turn on roughly about 10 minutes at a time. It'll take 10 minutes for it to reach temperature, and then it'll turn back off. And that'll probably happen at least twice an hour. So I'm looking at 20 minutes an hour times 24 hours. So you're looking at about 400 minutes. Let's say 500 minutes per day. So if you take 500 minutes of runtime per day and divide it by 60 minutes, that means that that thing's going to be running about 1/3 of the day, about 8 hours per day. So let's take the 493 hours and divide it by 8 hours. That's going to give me roughly 2 months of heat during the very coldest parts of the winter. And that's at regular temperature. So if I brought the temperature down a little bit, it'll probably last me a little bit longer than 60 days for emergency heat. Again, I hope that you got something out of this, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. Thank you very much for joining in today. And I hope that you're having a great start to the beginning of your week. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. I'm Alaska Prepper. God bless America. And I am out.